Welcome back to another video. If you're new, my name's Brianna, and today I'm going to be going over blocking. I'm going to be going over how to block, my technique, and some tips and tricks to get better. So let's jump right into it. So when it comes to blocking, the first thing we need to cover is how to hold the ball. So if you look here, I have a foam ball. I would probably put my fingers about halfway back, and what I'm doing is I'm going to push my thumbs in and tuck my fingers back. And the idea is that as long as I keep the ball in front of me, if it hits the ball, it's not going to hit my hand. So let me show you. So you can see it looks like that. So something to keep in mind is with 8.5 in cloth, I highly recommend you always block with two hands on the ball. Unless you have ginormous hands and an amazing grip, both of those ball types are really hard to hold on to. And I would do the same technique that I'm showing you with the foam ball and avoid one hand. However, with foam and no sting, since it's a lot easier to get a squeeze on the ball, you can definitely block with one hand. You just need to make sure you avoid pinching the ball. So I'll kind of show you how I do it with one hand. So I squeeze the ball, I get a nice squeeze, tucking my thumb and holding my fingers down. Notice it's not pinching. And this keeps my hand behind the ball, so it's easy to block without getting hit in the hand. I would do the same for no sting. The second thing we need to talk about is how you're moving the ball you're holding to block. So go down here and demonstrate. Again, I'm in the blocking position. I'm keeping the ball in front of me. And the idea is that I always want to move the ball in a downwards motion. So as I see the ball approaching, I'm moving my ball down, because the idea is that you want the ball you're blocking to hit the ground as soon as possible so that you're not accidentally hitting yourself or a teammate. You want to avoid coming in like this, like sideways motions, because it's likely if the ball has a curve that it's going to pop into your teammate. So always try when you can to push the ball down. So now let's talk about your body position when you're blocking. So this is what I like to do. I come down and I'm on my toes and I'm almost sitting on my heels. And the idea is that I want to be in an athletic position. So as soon as I block the ball, I can make a move. If you're flat-footed, it's going to be a lot harder to make a move after. So I'm up on my toes. I'm keeping the ball in front of me at all times, and I'm trying to stay behind the ball, keeping it so my eye line can see over the ball and I can see what's happening, but still easily I can just duck my head at the last minute if I need to for the ball to go over. Now before I jump into the tips and tricks, I'm just going to show you guys some B-roll from different angles of me blocking to give you guys a better idea of what it would look like. So now that we kind of covered the body position and how to block, let's talk about a couple tips and tricks to help you get better at blocking. So number one, first thing to keep in mind is you don't want to be reaching. Just like with catching, you don't want to reach for blocks. If it's not anywhere near you, you don't want to reach your hand up. That's how you get hit in the wrist. That's how you accidentally block it into a teammate or yourself. If it's going way over you, just duck down out of the way. If it's something that's not in your vicinity and it's not going to hit you, just let it go. The next tip is you really want to anticipate where your opponent's ball is going to go so you can time your movement right. And this, at the end of the day, it comes from practice, from playing against people. And what I found was in my rec leagues, when I'm playing against the same people over and over again, I started to see how their balls would move, and that helped me anticipate where the ball was going to go, and that helped me get better at blocking because I practiced with them. And then when I would play different people, I kind of took those same timing cues that I used against the people I played with all the time to anticipate where my opponent's ball was going to go. The next tip is you always want to keep your eyes on the ball. Just like if you're up at bat, you always want to keep your eyes on the ball when you're blocking. And now I see a lot of people make the mistake, they close their eyes behind the ball, and that's how they get hit in the feet or the shins or the shoulders, because they're not actually moving their ball. You want to kind of, like I showed, I line my ball up so my eyes can see over the ball, and at the last second when I need to move out of the way, at that point I already know where the ball is, and then I can duck under the ball. But right up until it's about to hit you, you need to know where the ball is. My next tip is to stay low when you're blocking. It's more of an advanced move to jump in the air and try and block. When you're against a 3-on-1 or a 4-on-1 and you know they're going to throw multiple balls at you, It's definitely a safer bet to stay low. You're more likely to be successful in your blocking effort, and only jump every now and then to mix it up, but I highly recommend most of the time when you make the mental decision that I'm gonna block on this pass, that you stay low. And my last tip for you is to do drills similar to getting better at catching. You wanna have good reaction time, anticipation, and hand-eye coordination. And at the end of the day, the best thing to do is to have someone go out there and throw at you and just practice doing it. Thank you, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a like and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. Drop a comment with any other dodgeball topics you'd like me to cover, and I'll see you guys next Wednesday.